become enough? When does it become too much for us to look away? To look away. What are we waiting for? Why does there have to be more who suffer while we wait? Why do we hesitate? Who will cry? Who will go? Who will touch? And who will show the heart of Christ, the hands of Christ, the love of Christ unto the least? The heart of Christ, the hands of Christ, the love of Christ unto the least.
So I kept asking Lenny, what are we going to do? And he kept giving me the same answer, sheetrock. And I couldn't believe it. Everyone said, there's no way you're going to be able to do sheetrock.
So I felt God called me to go on this trip, and although I was hearing that we were probably going to drywall, and that's not like a cool thing for women to do, but I thought I'd be taught that, and I'll just do it, because if that's the need, I'll do it.
So when I heard that we were going to go to Staten Island, I thought to myself, what can somebody do in 3 days? What kind of relationship building can happen in 3 days? And then we met Elaine. We went to Elaine's house, and the entire inside of her house was gutted and ruined. Her backyard was knee-deep in weeds and trash, and we went to work. We started to help her clean up her backyard. So we finally got to sit down and just relax for a few minutes, and Elaine started to tell her story. First part of her story was that her husband was a firefighter in 9/11 and was suffering from PTSD. And then Sandy struck, and he refused to leave their home. And as Elaine told her story, she started to get tears in her eyes. And by the time she finished her story, I looked around the circle, and several of the women also had tears in their eyes. And I really think that that was instrumental in softening her heart for what came later.
We all loved Elaine. She was working so hard right alongside us, and the yard was starting to look really good. And then she got a phone call. Unbelievably, her daughter was in a school that was undergoing a lockdown. There was a gunman in a nearby mall that had shot 2 people, had escaped, and her daughter was right nearby. They were locking the school down, and for Elaine, there was another crisis. And I thought, how much can these people take? We all immediately dropped our tools and started praying with Elaine for her daughter, for the gunman to be caught. And at that moment, I realized that this was exactly where God wanted us to go. And we were exactly where God wanted us to be at that moment.
I'm going to tell you something about Staten Island, the trip that the 7 women went on. I want to tell you how hard we were working physically, spackling and women putting up, what's it called, wallboard, and lifting it up there and screwing it in, and a lot of what we call mudding, and we did that for days. And this one couple, Anna and Tom, when they came down to the basement to see the difference that was made in working in their room, they were just so thankful and so amazed. And when we were about to leave Anna and Tom's house, I remember Tom was standing at the top of the stairs, and we were again praying as a team, blessing them and praying for them. And Tom was standing there, and he was smiling down on us. And Tom didn't smile very often. So it was really, really, really moving and wonderful. And I'd like to say it was so happy, it was so great that how quickly our team went to prayer. always praying for everyone before and afterwards and at home, and it was so encouraging to us all. We worked very well as a team with the Lord's help.
All right, what happened when you got to Lily's house?
When we got to Lily's, Lenny introduced Lily to the team, and she was very, very thankful that we had come to help her. So she showed us into the house, and basically it was just 2x4s. That's all that was on the walls. From the outside, it looked fine, but the inside was totally different. The ceilings had been sheetrocked, but that was about it. So we were able to go in and put the sheetrock on one of the walls about 25 feet long. And after we were done, Lily came in from outside, and she stood there and she looked at that wall, and it was the biggest smile on her face and the biggest glow, and all that was saying from her face was that she had hope. We had given her hope by finishing that wall, and it was a big encouragement to her.
And the Lord opened so many doors for me to be able to talk to people. People along the way, they knew our shirts, and they just said, thank you for coming here to help us. And some people asked me to pray for them for different things. One man told me, I don't need God, everything's good now, but I was still able to witness to him about the Lord. And it was a fantastic time. It really was. I would encourage anybody to go down there and help Lenny.
I think the main thing that really started with me was the perseverance of these people. I mean, it's been a whole year, and they have a house, you open the door, and it's just a big black hole. And they're still encouraged by, I'm sure we gave them all hope and praying together and just encouragement and compassion, I guess I said.
Right, so I thought, I was going to go down there and learn drywall, the whole thing. But Lenny gave us the okay to relax and be sure that is not the only, and that is not the prime reason why we're down there. Your heart goes out to people, but yet that's not the prime reason.
Well, I was a little apprehensive how I was going to be used, but it was amazing to see how God had a specific thing in mind for all of us. It was just amazing. Like, I ended up doing some yard work, and Marilyn, our teen girl, she did put a lawnmower together. I mean, there was a job for all of us, and we all felt so.
I think this trip was a testament to the fact that God can use amateurs to do His will. People who aren't experts, people who don't really know what they're doing, just coming with open hearts and open hands, He can use those guys, and we're a testament to that.
Well, it's just like when you feel led to do something, God's got a plan, and you don't know what it is, but He does, and to trust Him in it is like so exciting, because so much more comes of this mission trip than you think you're going there for.